First jobs suck.
Do they?
Well, ours did. Let's talk about whose was worse.
Right.
Pitch my show. Alright, to be fair, I don't guess they... Yeah, oh, he's still going. I wouldn't say they sucked, but they weren't great.
I don't know. I think mine was cool.
No, that's not the premise of the show, Nathan. We're still talking about how bad they were.
I remember all the bad stuff about them.
I mean, looking back on it, for first ones, are probably one of the bad. Everybody probably has a bad job at some point in their life, but for the idea of the video...
Oh, okay.
Yes, we're going... My job's blah, 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 blah.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, we're still going, right?
I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess technically my first way I made money was mowing yards.
Well, that's the way all real tough guys.
One I had to pay taxes on. The first one, that's what we're going
I
with.
didn't pay taxes now. I don't know. Lawn
So
mowing
that
racket.
would be... Yeah. So we're talking about our first job. That was the worst thing about it, paying taxes on...
I know it, right?
Yeah.
First paycheck. Yeah. So, but that was when we had our apartment. That's how we paid our bills.
Yeah.
All the other college things that went on at the house. Good time. So I started at Blockbuster, and you were at the esteemed, still in business,
Office Depot.
That's right. And no small thanks to you.
The Depot, yeah. Yeah, I built that foundation there that they're able to withstand the tough times.
That's right. They've survived.
Well, they're still there.
Blockbuster did not. Some very poor choices along the way. Redbox, that's a dumb idea. Let's get out of that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was there for about 3 years. But you?
I was at the Depot for like 5 or 6 years.
They had to drag you out.
Yeah.
But I think my job stunk the worst because of the hours.
Yeah.
Like, occasionally I would open, but pretty much I was closing, which they didn't close the doors till 12 unless people were, like, running up there and like, why are you guys closed? So somebody doesn't lock the door when they come in.
Oh, yeah.
So you weren't getting out there till 1 o'clock in the morning a lot of times.
Yikes.
Yeah, it stunk. Actually, I don't even remember. I started there when I was still a senior in high school. So, like, 2 or 3 months of working until 1 in the morning and then showing back up for school at 7 or something. It was not the best choice I ever made.
I don't know if we'd graduated yet, but I started at 18.
Yeah, that's when I started. So.
I think I might have been already graduated, though. I'm not sure.
I think so.
I guess the worst thing about Office Depot was customers.
I have people skills. I am good at dealing with people.
Most of them were cool, but man, you get one bad customer and your week is ruined. And I started out working on the floor, a stocker.
Oh, yeah. So you didn't have to deal with the customers
That
as
was
much?
fun, because it was just like, where are the pencils? And I knew where they were. So, like, there they are. You remember I actually had hair back then, and it was pretty long, like
you
almost
did
to my
have
shoulders.
some hair. You were a rock star at that point.
And I was like, I look like a total loser.
Yeah.
So everybody's like...
Well, not much has changed.
They're like, oh, this poor little loser. Do you know where the pencils are? And then when I knew where they were, they're so amazed. Wow. I got a lot of compliments from customers.
Did you get tips? Like,
no, but
that's nice.
They would go up front and they'd say, that boy just looks totally spaced out. But he found my stuff for me. And then
he actually knew where something was in the place that he worked.
And then the front end manager, once I was friends with them, they're like, would you like to give him a compliment? And they would like sign this paper, and then I would get a bonus or something.
Whoa!
It was awesome. But then once my hair fell out, they're like, oh, I don't feel sorry for you anymore.
No.
And that's when they should feel sorry for me.
Yes. Did you ever go past that point? Where did you get a senior stock boy, or have to work the register? Or,
well, yeah. I started out stalker.
Yeah.
Then I kind of went to register, which was the worst.
That's the worst. Yeah.
Ugh.
Anytime.
And then I got promoted to furniture manager.
Furniture manager. So you help people with their furniture's, like, decisions?
That was the cake. Nobody was in furniture ever.
No?
No.
That's why they gave it to you?
I had this one super huge sale to the jail in Boone, North Carolina.
Oh.
I mean, it was thousands and thousands of dollars and I didn't even set it up. This guy that worked there was like, hey, they want to buy all this furniture. I'm, okay, cool.
Cool, man.
And that pretty much
What do you need?
kept me in the furniture department, even though I wasn't very good at selling furniture.
That's awesome. So obviously the worst part about my job was the customers as well. But I always look back on it like, hey, we were charging crazy amounts of money, not only to rent the product, but the late fees. And then once you got a late fee, you got called and harassed about your late fee or late tapes and all that stuff because that product cost a lot of money.
How much did you get charged if you didn't rewind it?
By the time I got there, I think they had done away with that fee. But we definitely had 4 rewinders back because when I first started, DVDs weren't that popular yet. I mean, you were on everything. Nobody rewound the tape. It was very rare.
Rewind.
I didn't really care because just popping the machine. It's not like I was sitting there.
Yeah.
And they were like super fast. I don't know if your grandpa ever had a rewinder. You seen those laying around?
No.
Yeah, well, my dad, he was professional. Because it would wear out your VCR. But no, that was the worst part was dealing. And people were just mad about having to pay extra money. And I get it.
Yeah.
I do. But yeah, or when you were out of something, they weren't so mad. But yeah, I definitely got cursed out several times because it was my fault, of course, that their product was late. We were very lenient.
I think the maddest the customer's Office Depot ever got was when we would run a sale, and it would be like the super awesome printer or laptop, and then they would ship to our store like 3 of them. So then they would sell out immediately, and then they come in there, it's a bait and switch. Like, oh yeah, we set that up ourselves. We personally did that. We can only sell you what they ship us, people.
That is the way it works.
Man.
Especially. The other part that people were furious about was the membership requirements. So obviously, people don't get it. Like every tape that was on this shelf cost like $100 because we had to pay that in order to rent it out to make money. You had to have your ID, but you had to have a second ID. We had to call and verify your phone number on because we're giving you expensive products to take.
Man, this is like getting into the Pentagon or something.
It was. And the second IDs, nobody had. Nobody had. Because it was like your voter registration. At first they were taking a Social Security card as a second ID, and that got quickly shut down.
What's your handgun permit?
That might have actually been one. I don't know. But there was definitely a list. We'd go down with people and like, I don't have any of that. One guy definitely threatened to come back and show me his handgun to prove that he was. But yeah, we had some very distraught customers over that.
So whose job was worse? Sounds like yours.
My job stunk, but I loved it. That was the other part. I loved it. When we were at the apartment, I was driving like 30 minutes to get back and forth to it. We had closer ones. I was like, no, I'll drive up there to. I'll take it.
So yours was worse. I like mine. I think mine was cool. There are very few things about my first job that I don't like.
I cried the day they fired me. I don't know. I mean, I'd say more people have bad stories dealing with Blockbuster than with Office Depot. But you should go back. You could relive the glory days.
We did go back about a month ago to buy a chair.
Okay.
Yeah.
It worked out all right.
It worked out. The chair still works.
I had to go and get a clipboard, and I did have to ask somebody because like.
Well, I had 2 store managers. One of them was still there working there.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Is Webb still there?
No.
Okay.
She had transferred to like Chattanooga or something and then come back. So
still in the company. None of my former friends still work at Blockbuster. Of course, they'd have to move to Alaska. There's still ones in like Alaska apparently.
Was it like Oregon or something?
So, I don't know, maybe Oregon. The rules don't apply in Oregon.
Okay.
All right. So, who had the worst job? What was your awful first job? Are you digging ditches or mopping floors somewhere? So let us know in the comments below. Oh, we haven't told people in a while. You better like and subscribe, peeps.
Oh yeah, I know we have millions of viewers, but not millions of subscribers.
Yes. So that needs to change. Obviously, hit that subscribe button. You can see us every Thursday. New shows. We do all this all the time. Fishwax Show!